Maria, hello. Hello, Maria. Can you introduce yourself for us, please? I have some problems, so I need to create all the rooms again, all right? So just one moment. Guys, I will create all the rooms again. So please wait everybody return for the main room. Just one moment. Okay, so let me open the rooms again. All right, now it's everything okay. You. All right, Diego, can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Sure. As you can see, my name is Diego. I'm 36 years old. I'm living in Campinas, near to São Paulo capital, São Paulo state. Actually, I work as a data analytics manager. I work in a marketing and advertising market. I'm here on TNT since February 2021. I really appreciate this place. For me, it's a special place to make more friendship and to talk about good things and specific topics. And especially right now when we have this tech talks, because it's so important to our career, to our job, and to improve our skills conversational about tech things. Yeah, thank you for this conversation.
All right, nice to meet you. So we are a long time here on Talk and Talk. It's more than 1 year, all right?
Yeah.
It's almost 2 years, but I never talked with you before, but nice to meet you. And what about you, Jairo? Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm live here in São Paulo. I work as an HR coordinator. I live with my 2 cats, 1 dog. I like to play piano. I like to play chess. Practice sports in general, go to the gym, roller skating, and that's a little bit about me.
Nice to meet you, Jairo. And Maria, are you listeners? No, I cannot hear you, Maria. So I will introduce yourself. So my name is Jean. I am 19 years old. I am software engineering student at the university and backend developer. So of course I like to learn English. I like a lot to run at the street, play and watch soccer, play chess too, and read some English books most of the time about technology. So that's it about me. I'd like to listen to Maria. So are you listeners, Maria? Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Maria. I study too. I like ride a bike. I like football, and I want to learn English, improve my English.
All right. So welcome and nice to meet you, Maria. So everybody had the questions. All right. So let's start. So Jairo, can you choose some question and ask to someone?
Sure. Let's start with the question number 1. I'm gonna ask it for Diego. Diego, how important is digital accessibility in your opinion?
Well, after this movie, I increase my opinion about the importance, but I think that's with the penetration of the internet in terms of bank accounts, financial themes, about social media and using internet in our current days. I think that's so important because as we can saw on the numbers, the big numbers that the video bring to us is so important because we have a lot of people with disabilities and these people need to use these services, yeah, and not something about the services, but about the good things that the internet bring to us about, for example, play games and surf on different websites, make searches and study and different topics. In all of them, the digital accessibility is so important. And for me, it's a good topic, and we, especially us who work with digital and technologies, we need to think more about it.
Yes, that's true. We are in a world that unfortunately is not inclusive. We have a lot of people with different difficulties, and the web is one place that these people have some difficulties too. All right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the web isn't an inclusive place. So as IT professionals, we need to try to transform the virtual world in a accessibility or inclusive environment to this kind of people that have some difficulty. We have people that have a lot of different difficulties, and is our role, in my opinion, to try to become this environment, the digital environment, a good place for these people, different of the real world.
I totally believe in that. For me, it's we are talking. No, you are walking to the internet makes make how can I say essential service, yeah, for all people. And including these is so important. When you go, for example, to one public service, it's important to this place be accessible to people with disabilities. And in this case, it's so important too, because we use internet for different purposes, especially on these, yeah. Those.
Unfortunately, the real world isn't accessible, but we need to try to turn the virtual environment a better place for this kind of people with different difficulties. All right.
Yeah.
And what your opinion, Jairo?
Well, I agree with you. I think this is very important. While you were talking about it, I was thinking how we could achieve this level of, level of maturity in terms of technology that arrives to this kind of persons that for some reason they have disability or something like that. Because I think in the end of the day, the technology will help them more than us. Like, for example, if someone is could be able to use a technology to walk in the street, because he or she is blind, and the technology in some ways would help him or a person to walk in the street, even blinded, it for sure will help and be more significant. It will be more like a great thing, more than like just an app. It's like his or her eyes, like the technology will help and support more people like that than the normal citizens, like these kind of things. But there is a point here, because First, I don't have this kind of information, but for sure, people with disability, they are not so many like the normal. I don't know. I wouldn't like to use this word, but I don't have like other word in my
But
vocabulary. So
it's understandable. We
all
can
right.
got that.
Yeah, like the normal people in the world, they are much more than the disability was one. So at the end of the day, companies, they are interested in sell more apps, sell more services. And when we think about disability, we need to understand how we can provide something cheap and efficient. Like there is this kind of balance that we need to deal with. Like we are creating something not just to help the humanity, but also to make money. So how can we deal with that? I'm pretty sure that we are in a good direction. We can do it fast, but the thing is, if we really want to do something to people that will support, if we want to do something to support people with disability, we need to think not just in make money. That's the thing. How can we do that? Because it
It's
was
totally, yeah, it's a good point, because we need to balance these incomes and revenues. Yeah, it's important. I believe that's one important point here. It's, for example, if you have one support for the governments or for different places to, for example, make one split or one kind of spin-off of one website, and different places on the website, for example, they're more, how can I say, institutional or with good service, especially with this target of people, yeah, with disabilities. For example, when you are surfing on the Mercado Livre, yeah, it's insane if you can make all the website, all the web app, all the apps good and 100% make for people with disabilities or with digital accessibility. Yeah, but we can make one portion, for example, of the site with different products and different assessment, different atendimento. I don't know, I forgot the word in this case, to help these people especially. And we can use this not something to make money, but to help other people. But to sustain this project, they can use, for example, tax-free from governments, for example. Yeah, I don't know, but people without working, without receive all the money, but one digital initiative for devs around the world. I think that we have solutions, but it's so difficult because we live in a capitalism state, and it's important making money. I believe in that. It's important to support other products, but like you said, it's not something to make money. It's important to help people too. This is good discussion.
Yeah, sometimes the company needs to finish the one project so fast, all right, to make money, and unfortunately the company don't will pay attention in terms of digital accessibility, just to end the project and start other to make money. And unfortunately, this kind of technology, it's not developed for people with some difficulty. But that's it. And what about you, Maria? What is your opinion? Maria, can you listen to us?
Maria is facing issues, I think, with her internet.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And when you hear us, Maria, you can answer the question. All right. So Diego, can you choose some question and choose someone to answer?
Yeah, sure. I think that we have here one question good, because they make a link with the discussion that we have before. The sixth question: what are the impacts of websites, for example, without digital accessibility for users who need this resource? Yeah, I will start to answer this question. I think it depends on of the website, the purpose, the product or the service that the site show, that site have in your goal objective, but the impact is I think that's great. It's big because I don't have here in Brazil the numbers. We saw, for example, in the United States, 59 millions of people in one country with, I don't believe, but 300,000 of population, I believe, in United States. Yeah, we are talking about more than 20% of people. Yeah, if I'm not in trouble, but in this situation, this portion of people is without connection with these websites. They have problems and issues making connections and solve problems and to buy products. The impact is so great, but it's so big, especially to the side of these people with disabilities. But when we are seeing for the company, I think that will have one impact on financial impact on these companies too. We're not talking about this point of view, but it's important to understand that if I have one site with digital accessibility, I will take one new portion of people and new clients and new users. I think that's one point that people don't, especially people from business, don't see to these people with carinho. I forgot the word, but it's important. Yeah, feeling. And about you, Jairo, what do you think?
Yeah, the impacts. That's difficult. I'm not sure about the impacts yet. I think that if someone start to develop a software, an app, or something like that, specifically to this kind of people, like people with disability, as we are talking people with disability, I think for them it will have a good impact, a good and very expressive impact to them. But it depends of the app and depends of the services, because we are passing through like a new age. Like we are giving baby steps in terms of development, but I believe that in the future we will be able to connect data and some services, and it will really impact them. For example, Waze. Let's think about Waze. Nowadays, if you want to go to an address, you can find a better road, to get in the address faster. So there is another app, Uber, that you can just say the address. You don't need really to write it in the cell phone. You can just say where you want to go, and the app will search drivers around, and they will let you know with a sound when the driver is just arrived in your address, and the driver will be able to drive into the address that you just talk in the smartphone. What I want with that, it's like nowadays we don't have disability, but I think in the future people with disability will use this kind of technology to walk, to go around, like wherever they want to go, they will be able to do it with this kind of technology. Nowadays they do it, but it's not very simple yet because they still need to touch and choose the appropriate app, but like the service that we have, like Siri, and there is a lot of software like that. You don't need to touch nothing, even choose. All you have to do is Siri, open Uber app, and it will be done by the software behind the iOS or Android, whatever. So we are getting baby steps, like in the future, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to do things like that. Nowadays, the impact, it's very low, but it's like a learning machine, like you would say. We are learning how to deal with the softwares that we already have, and those softwares, they are increasing, they are getting better day by day. So I think we will achieve a point that we will connect everything, and people with disability will be able to join and really feel the impact, the good impact of this whole technology. Nowadays, I don't believe there is a good impact. I mean, there is a good impact, but very soft, not very significant. I think in the future, it will be better than now.
Yes. This month, I was doing a scientific research at the university about the people that has some listening difficulty, all right, here in Brazil. And I find a specific number, 10% of the Brazilian population have some listen problem, some listening difficulty. All right. And for example, the website is not prepared for this kind of people. Just a little bit of website have some technology to help this kind of people. And I find a software that help these people. I don't know if someone here already have talked about the hand talk. It's a plugin of websites that help users with just speak Libras, all right, to user the internet. Cause the most of time when the people speak Libras, he or she don't speak Portuguese. So I think this kind of technology, it's so good for this kind of people that have some listening difficult. It's something that I was researching at the university. And I think when a people cannot read, for example, the content of the website, this kind of people will lose a lot of information. We are in a information digital era, all right, moment. And if the people cannot search something on the internet or read something, probably these people will lose a lot of information. And of course, for example, now, the most of the website, it's with text, all right? And the people that cannot read, for example, people that just speak Libras here on Brazil, we have 10% of the population of the Brazil. It's a lot of people, and these people cannot have access of the most of the Brazilian websites. So this is a problem. So I think the impacts of website that is not accessible for this kind of people, it's so big, the impacts.
A good point. I agree with you guys. I will add one point important here. It's a little bit different of the purpose of this question, but when we saw the video in the beginning, we saw that the United States and European Union start one kind of a law about this, the importance of the digital accessibility on the websites and internet services. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that in Brazil, without one legislation, without one law, it's so difficult to our companies implement these points. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe totally, for example, you want kind of a compensation. For example, if you like the people said with the PCD people on the companies, yeah, you have one kind of a share of PCD employees in your company. If you have this share, this percentage of people, we will have a different tax. We'll have a different faixa, I don't know, of tax in your receipt, in your whatever. Yeah, I believe in this solution, because they force people, they force companies, especially companies, to make one website with accessibility, and we can do more less impact on these connections and this access. Yeah, I believe in this way. Because
can I add something?
yeah,
I would
go
say
ahead.
more better than that would be if they like create a law saying that you will have like less taxes, let's say, but we will measure by the user. So as more
Very
as
good.
users use
Yeah,
your app,
good point.
your platform, you're gonna have less taxes, let's
Very
say.
good, very
You
good.
know, because it will force them to
Yeah,
like
that's
fight,
it.
like to be better.
Perfect.
So I need them
Perfect.
in my platform. You
Make
know?
advertising, for example, for this kind of people, and to incentive, I don't know that's the word, but to incentive people to make access to this service, because it's so common. People make this how can I say, accomplish this law without good transparency. For example, we
Yeah.
need to do one bathroom for people with special disabilities, but this bathroom, it's in the not in the how can I say, not in the good, in a the good place, not visible. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something to accomplish the law.
Yeah,
For me,
exactly.
it's yeah, it's good discussion.
Yes, that's true. And Maria, can you speak now? I think unfortunately Maria cannot talk today. But so let's move on to the next question. So now it's my time to choose some question. So I will choose the question 7. So Jairo, what are the challenges for development of technologies with digital accessibility for you?
Investments, as we already said, we are focused and make money, and as more users, as more money we will make as a company. So
And
first thing,
projects so fast. That's
yes.
the
So, but investment, we need to be how can I, how we use there is a word even in Portuguese, but I don't forget, intentionally, you know, like I want to create this app for people with disability, you know, it's not like a plus, it's a must. We need to have this, you know, like that's the first thing. The apps, the softwares, they need to be created by the start of like the idea should be created to them.
it needs to
Nowadays,
start thinking at the beginning, you think.
yeah,
For example,
I think
we need
go ahead.
a database in our website, and we need digital accessibility. All right. At the
Exactly.
beginning, we start to thinking about it.
Yeah, nowadays I think we have like, all right, we know how to manage to attend like I will use the word again because I don't know exactly how word to use, the normal, like the average of in our society. But people with disability, we will just support them. But this app, this software, this technology, this code language, whatever, they are created to people that see, listen, they with a specific, like the average people. So it must be created since the beginning, looking for solve a problem for people with disability. There's another thing that for sure needs to be done. Well, yeah, I think that's it. Well, for sure there is more, but that's the two things that I think of now.
Yeah. And what about you, Diego? What do you think? Questions number 7. We are not listening you.
We're in the question 7, yep.
Yeah.
It's not my area. Yeah, I'm not a software developer or full stack developer, but I know something about it. I think that it's important to understand more like one UX design, yeah, understand more the rules for these people. Like we can saw on the video, it's a different, we have different templates and different, not programations, but different views to the different kinds of disabilities that you have, yeah. It's, for me, I don't know, but it's difficult to resume all of these disabilities in one specific service. In this case, we need to, how can I say, to not open the open the service to people choose there's right visual, there's right service to use. It's so difficult, and I think that's can cost a lot to one company. Yeah, the cost for me, it's the main challenge, but you have people with this knowledge, yeah, to make this service and to adapt this service to digital accessibility.
Yeah, that's true. As everybody said, money, it's one challenge. All right. The company don't want to spend time creating technologies for people with some disability, unfortunately. And other point, I think Jairo mentioned it before. It's the technologies with about digital accessibility is not prioritized at the beginning of the projects. So the most of projects and the softwares, not the software developers, I think more the product managers, the stakeholders, all right, it's a term, people that really want the project, not who will develop it, uh, uh, people with have the money for keep the project going on. It's the persons that need to invest in this kind of project and needs to prioritize the digital accessibility requirements of these technologies. And I think it needs to start. We need to start thinking about this kind of technologies at the beginning of the project, because if we will try to transform one website that it's already in production, for example, with digital accessibility, of course, we'll have more challenging than start thinking about it at the beginning of the new new softwares, for example. I think that's it. And unfortunately, I think Maria cannot speak with us, talk with us. So let's move on. So Jairo, can you choose some question and choose someone to answer?
Sure. Let's go with number 9. Let's see. In your opinion, what is the role of technology professionals in the development of technology with digital accessibility? Let's start with you, Diego.
Yeah, in this point, I will share one experience that I have. The technology professionals, they use it to go to the way that the project managers or the company show to them. Yeah, because you have one scope, you have 1 hour, but you have hours to spend in one project. The technology professionals are so brilliant and they have a lot of solutions, but they need one project to follow. That's the word that I need to to use, to follow. And for me, if we don't have one alignment with the purpose and the mission of the company, and this alignment bring to the topic of the hierarchy or the company, it's so difficult because you are on the field make your code, yeah, and you have a different codes to do, and you have different challenges to solve. And if you have one time, specific time, or one specific sprint or project to develop this specific services, especially oriented to digital accessibility, I think that's the good scenario that you have, yeah. But something one technology professional, one guy inside one company is so difficult because it's a kind of a war of giants, yeah, and Davi and Goliath, and something one professional, it's a kind of a Davi in one of these big structures that we have right now on the big companies. But if you have, for example, one squad, especially the development for this purpose, I think that we have a best way to develop this service.
Yeah, sometimes I think we don't need necessarily a squad, but one people at the team reserved to do this. It's
So
the
good,
perfect
so
world,
good.
all right?
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I think that when people make one kind of research, not research, but one review of the features that the software have or the service have, it's good because these people can make this, like we have, for example, people from legal. I will see your software if you have any issues about LGPD, about one different language that can make us one legal process on the justice. We have one people specialized on the social digital accessibility. Yeah, can help a lot. A kind of a product manager guy. Yeah, with this special I forgot, guys. This knowledge, special knowledge for this purpose.
Yes, I agree. As I mentioned, and you too. Sometimes it don't depend necessarily of the software developers who creates the software requirement. The most of time is a project manager, right? It's other people, but it's not the software developer. And we just develop what other people tell for us develop. That's the reality. Uh, of course, if we start a personal project, we can think about it. But when we are working in a company that it's other people that think about the software requirements, what the software will have, probably in the most of companies, the digital accessibility will not be at the top of the requirement lists, all right? It will not prioritized. So I think that's a big problem. And the role of the professional technologies, I think the most of time the stakeholders, the people that will create the software requirements, it's to think a little bit about how we can spend the part of the time of the team to developing uh, at the beginning of the project some digital accessibility requirements for the software, uh, and in the real environment have a specific person just to work with this kind of project. Maybe in the company, all right, we don't need people focused on digital accessibility in each team. Maybe in a company it would be so good, just one people per company. I think it's a good start to thinking about it. And what about you, Jairo?
Yeah, let me just ask something because I was just thinking here. As you and Diego work in, I don't know exactly, but you work in a tech company. In general, people, the devs, they program without knowing the real project. They just program a part of the project, but they don't know exactly what will be done with the whole lines, like, or in some ways they are aware of the whole project.
Yeah. And the most of time, we not start a project. We work in a project that already it's going on, all right. And we need to finish
Improve.
what the other the tasks of the project manager sent for us. And unfortunately, we don't have the most of time. Uh, uh, we cannot develop what we want. All right, we need to develop or what the other people need. We need to develop what the market want, what the other people will buy. All right, and not for
Got it.
necessarily the experience of the users.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Well, related to the question, technology professionals in general, they are crucial, like very important. There's no other way to create something like in technology without them. So until now, I think we don't have like a machine that can produce a line code from nothing, like we just demand and the machine will code something to us. I don't think that it exists yet. So until now, professional technology in general, they are very important, crucial. There is no other way to create a service, a tech service, or even app, softwares, things like that, without them. So they are very important. But as you said, and we discussed it about it, the point is they are doing the things that the company wants to sell, and who wants to buy a specific kind of technology or a specific kind of software product, who wants to pay more, like if
Yeah.
if the company is interested in people with disability, that's the business of it, like, and they are making money with people with disability. So there is like a whole I forgot the word, is chains. I forgot, in business chains. I don't know, something like that. But we need to first create jobs to them, give money to them, because now from that point they will be able to spend more money with app, with the systems, with services in general, and people will start to, all right, there is a market here, because now they are spending more money, but that's because they have money to spend, you know. So we need to create like a cycle where people with disability can make money in the company, can make their own money with their own business or something like that, and start to pay more to specific services. You know, like, I don't want this car because they don't produce something specific for people with disability. I will go with this one because they produce it. You know, these kind of things. But to do that, we need to give power to them, and by power and understand money. So that's the first thing. So really relate to the question. People with technology, they are very important, but more important than technology professionals in the technology is who's taking decisions. Because at the end of the day, they want make money. So people will demand this kind of services as soon as they realize that there are some people with disability consuming this kind of services.
Yes, that's totally true. All right, we are out. Everybody, it's here again. So, Murilo, how was the conversation in your breakout room?
Very nice. But it's a hard question. Nowadays, it's a big difficulty for all companies. Yeah.
And
We
do you-
talking about in the future, it's will be obligatory for our companies. How like to allow protection for data nowadays? Yeah, obligatory. From the past, it's not. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
and you answered all the questions in your room?
Yeah, I answer all questions.
All questions.
Yeah, 1 until 10.
All right. So, can you answer the question number 5 to us? Do you believe that time and money can be responsible for the high number of technologies without digital accessibility?
Okay,
What do you think?
we said about it because nowadays companies doesn't focus with them. The companies doesn't have time nowadays and focus in another situations because this is not obligatory yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
that's true. And what about you, Janemis? Did you like this topic? What is your opinion about this? You are muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. A lot of products in the market is MVP, and mainly because of the tight term and the limited investment.
yes, that's true. The companies don't want to spend time developing one thing that it's not allowed in our country, unfortunately. But that's it. I think in the future we will develop more. Probably it will become a law in our country. Guys, to finish, I will share with you a survey, and I would like the feedback of all of you. If you like or if you dislike this topic, you can share in this survey. All right. And I would like to share what topic do you want to talk at the next week, so you can share with me, and I will prepare the material for us discuss about it. All right. So I think that's it. I would like the feedback of everybody, and if you would like to have the access of this these questions before the meeting, you can find out it at the Talk and Talk website with the pro plan. All right. That's all for today, and I hope talk with all of you the next week. All right.
All right. See you. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Next week, bye.
Bye. See you.